Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey, it's Bishop, and we are First Formation Morning Sports Talk. Bishop, what's good with you this morning?
WGO, what's going on? How y'all doing on this hump day? It is Wednesday, and no, it doesn't feel like Wednesday because Monday was a holiday. So I'm kind of still stuck thinking the day was like Tuesday, but today is actually unofficially Wednesday. So we on our hump day, man. We one day closer to what, Trey? The NBA Finals. Yes, the NBA Finals kick off tomorrow, along with some other things. The college softball World Series is about to kick off on Thursday as well as my beloved Oklahoma Boom Sooners, who are ranked number one in the nation. Yes, they will face who is it? Colorado, I think tomorrow. Whoever is the number ninth ranked team, more than likely the Sooners will win another World College Softball World Series once again. Freddie, what's good, man? Good morning. How was your evening, Trey? What was good with your Tuesday, bro?
So it was all right. First of all, I'd like to address the fact that Bishop has broke up the the Oklahoma Sooners softball team. And Freddie, you was just in time to witness the BS. The
What
way
is the
Bishop,
BS?
the way
What
the way
BS
Bishop
am I
came in this
talking
morning.
about? Come
Although
on, man. Am I?
it's very
Did I?
newsworthy. It is
Did
very
I? Okay,
newsworthy. It
thank you.
is
It ain't
very
like I made
newsworthy.
up nothing.
It is very newsworthy. And we
I
do
think they're
speak
35
sports.
and 1. Come on, man. 35 and 1.
Who did
Come
they
on.
lose to?
Texas.
That Red River Shootout, something else.
Yeah, that we lost to Texas, but guess what? Texas is in this game in the in the tournament,
They have a
and
they have a chance.
let's see how Texas does in the 5 game or however many games. What is it? 3 game series? I think it's like a 3 game series
A three
in
game.
softball. Yeah, it's on, Freddie. You right. It is. It's on. It's on, brother. It's on, brother.
I just wanted to point that out. But oddly enough, speaking about softball, as y'all know, yesterday, or if you've been listening or pay attention, the yesterday here on Fort Polk, we did have our intramural sports um, level championship softball game, in which it pitted one of the teams from one of the units. We just call them Easy Sliders against another who we just called the Tigers. A little backstory that the Easy Sliders have been. I've watched them grown over the last 3 years or 4 years, as you can say, because at one point they came out, start playing, they was getting their head smashing, beat in, crushed, but they stayed consistent, and that year they found themselves in the championship game. And then the next year, a little better, they found themselves in the championship game. And then this year, a little better. And again, they find themselves in the championship game. But in all 3 years, they have yet to win a championship. And each year, they lose by a walk-off score. And last night was no different. They lost 14-15 in the final game. It was unfortunate. I know he had high hopes of again finally getting a championship, but at this point they're like the Atlanta Braves from the '90s.
Who is this
One of the teams from here on Fort Polk
on
that
post?
play.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so you would think they have a dynasty within their unit, um, going 3 years in a row, but have yet to
Mm-hmm.
win a championship. Each year they lose by 1 point off a
Oh,
walk
wait.
off.
That's gotta suck. That's gotta suck.
So I guess that tells them to do their best to not be the top seed in the turn
Yeah,
in the championship game, and maybe they get away. They can't get walked off if they're not the last seed.
facts.
Uh, what's good, CNN? Good morning, there, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
What
Good
up,
morning.
CNN? What up? What up? You ready for these NBA finals?
So first, before we get right into the finals, a little MLB, Major League talk. Bishop, what? Do you think Sid's going to play any? Is she going to be a boomer sooner, a softball player? Do you think she has that in her cards, or is she going to handle the rock for them? What do you see any of
What
that?
up, your rod, Coach Rod? Good morning, John. Good
Good morning.
morning,
Good morning. Good morning.
Joe. I don't know. Sid is a girly girl, man. So I
And,
don't
and
know.
that's why,
Sid,
as I was saying,
I
it was
don't
coming
know.
out as it was coming out my mouth. I see her getting manicures, pedicures, facials, and all that
Yeah,
type of stuff. But
yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that she
That doesn't.
won't.
That
Yeah,
doesn't. That
but
doesn't because
as I thought about it, yeah.
we've actually seen some very gorgeous WNBA players.
Hmm.
Um, you know what I'm saying? Some nice looking softball players, and
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, track stars. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so
That are
it's
very
not.
girly
So
girl.
I had to sit up and think
Yeah,
about that. But but
yeah.
yeah, I was asked that
We
question.
I don't know. Right now, we try to get her into sports at an early age, and Sid was like, "Man, the way this heat is set up, I don't do
She
heat
glad to
well."
be a world class swimmer.
Yeah, Sid ain't doing. Sid does not do heat well. So
If it's not
yeah,
world class swimmer, or it's got to be basketball
yeah,
player,
and she love
volleyball
to
player,
swim. She love
because
to swim. That's the thing.
it's outside the elements.
Yeah, she love to swim. Now she love to get in the pool. That's her thing. She love to be in that water. So I wouldn't be surprised if swimming would be something that she would be interested in regards to participating in as a sport. I definitely wouldn't be surprised because she loves to be in that water. But anything that may have to deal with outside, um, it doesn't look promising for Sid.
Mm.
No, not right now, at least. Not
I
right now.
really know
And
that. I can get
we
it. I
tried
can
to
get
get
it.
her into soccer. We tried to get her into soccer because one of her cousins was playing soccer. She was like, no, that too hot. Tried to get her in soccer. We tried to get her in t-ball. Nope, too hot. Sid don't do well with that heat, boy. She do not do well with that heat.
So the reason I ask is, as we know, Rogers Clemens, a top rated pitcher in his heyday, got our opportunity to see his son make a start for the first time. So he hopped on the flight from Texas to fly to Detroit, where his sons play. He was a fourth round selection,
Good
uh,
morning, AP.
in which his son was playing and had to start with the Detroit Tigers due to the fact that they had a doubleheader. He
Mm-hmm.
got a chance to see his son, and even though they lost and his son went 0 for 3, he was there cheering him on. So I just thought I would bring that up, and saying the ability for not just a father or just or a parent to see their child in their element, that which was
Mm-hmm.
once their element before. No different if we
Mm-hmm.
seen our children graduate from um, basic training or AIT or ROTC, even though
Mm-hmm.
that's probably none of their none of their cards. None of that is going
Mm-hmm.
to be probably that as much as
That's a
we
good
probably.
question, though, Trey. What about your kids? Are you encourage them to be athletically sound in regards to playing a sport, or are you looking forward to your your kids maybe joining the armed forces in the near
That
future?
is a
Or
heck of a question. So first and foremost, I am an advocate for if no kid or no one, even whether it be it's my child, your child, anyone's child, or adult in that case, no matter if they ain't got nothing going on in life currently, and are kind of like in the impasse in life where they don't know what they want to do or do anything, I encourage them to go take a look and go talk to the local recruiter or something like that. Because although I'm not telling you got to stay, but it's not a bad stepping stone in
Mhm.
any fact of the matter. Once you get in there, because I don't know Bishop how you felt about it, but I know for the first 4 years I was like I'm getting out. I was like I'm only doing 4 years and I'm
Oh yeah,
deuces.
that was my
That
intent too. When I first
was my
when I
deuces.
first enlisted, I was like, up four
Yeah, this
years and
yeah,
I'm out this
I'm
piece.
out. I talked about it. You know, what I'm saying we as they be talking about what you doing. They was like, okay, you know, what I'm saying re-enlistment. You on re-enlist? Nah, I'm fam. I'm good.
No, I'm
four
good, bro.
years and I'm getting.
Good.
I remember having plenty of
School. I'm going
conversations.
to school. Yep.
Yeah,
I
stuff like
said
that. What
I'm
you gonna
going to
get? I
school.
don't know, but I'm getting
I'm
up
going
out
to
of here.
school.
And then you know,
Yep.
what I'm saying, and that was of course. So I would say that at minimum, uh, and that's you know saying and that's a lot of people's rhetoric from what Anthony talked about. You shouldn't force them to do something they don't want to. In which
I agree with that.
to a degree because technically I was forced. And you're saying, and at the end, at the end of the day, I wasn't forced by the law. Let's just get that. Y'all ain't got to go back and look in y'all pull up my file and take a look and
Right.
see Anthony and Agent Davis, Agent Price. I wasn't forced by the law. It wasn't that type of situation. I was just that was just what my mom and my grandfather and them kind of like pushed on me. So in a sense, I was kind of forced. Of course, or I can say the first time I was forced. Let's say that the first time I was forced. The next time around, after a certain situation happened, I went back and unbegrudgingly went ahead and enlisted. So, but and then to the sports aspect of it, I personally uh we so AJ's here. We're here. AJ's here, and Rain is in Tampa
Okay.
now. For Rain, and of course, and I have Azaria that's in Texas. So for Rain, maybe, but Rain's with his mother, and so that's only gonna go so far because if she isn't dialed in and she isn't also doing it or pushing it, then it's gonna be kind of hard. Like when he comes here for the summer, I try to put him in programs and stuff like that, which I think basketball he did like, a little football he did like. Um, but I think AJ lately has been getting to the sense of he football, watching videos with route trees, getting out in the yard and passing them. He went from basketball, now he's more dialed in on football. Even though he does watch basketball, he takes a look at certain players and be like, okay, Luka Doncic is one of his favorite players. Of course, his favorite player in football is oddly enough Tyreek Hill. To where he watching the cheetah and be watching all it and his stuff and stuff like that. So that's different. And then my daughter, I have the slightest idea, but I mean, I just don't think. At least again, nothing against being. I think sometimes we just with opposite parents. I'm not going to even say mothers because I think you have some mothers that are real or very avidly into sports, but you might have the father who's not, and depending on who the child's with, that culture that's not part of that culture, and it just becomes what it becomes. Um,
Yeah, for
so
me,
yeah.
it's the same way. For me, so I have a excuse me. I have a 21-year-old who will be 21 or 22 this month. Actually,
Hmm.
on the 13th, she turns 22. Destiny, she'll be 22 years old. She's in college. She's still, excuse me, trying to finish her education. I will say this, like, for my youngest, Sid, I would definitely encourage because her mom has her degree.
Hmm.
Sid's mom has her degree, her master's in nursing. So I'm sure Chantel, my wife, and is going to push um, Sydney Joe to be to go to finish her education, which that's first and foremost. That's what I would do. That's my plan. That's what I would do. I would definitely encourage her to be to finish her education. It's more I won't say lucrative, but it's just a I won't say even necessarily easier route. Just because there's a lot of things in which you have to deal with when you go to excuse me, trying to finish your education. Because
Hmm.
we all know as students,
It's
especially in
hard out
college,
there for
it's
us
hard.
to.
You don't have what I'm saying, you don't have means to bring in income for the most part because you're trying so hard to focus on trying on your studies so you can get a so you can pass and so you can walk the stage and get your degree and whatever it may be. So but I'm definitely going to highly encourage school first, and then if she were to come to me and ask me um what are my thoughts about the military as far as for her and so forth and so on, I would definitely sit her down and talk to her about it and see what the best course of action and see if that was something that she truly wanted to do. Of course, by that time the military has changed since we've been out, so I'm sure in the years in which it's time for her to go in, it'll be then definitely changed 100 times more over. So that's that. But as far as sports, I do want her to play some type of sports, whether it's softball, whether it's basketball, volleyball, whatever. I would love her to, because it, it builds character, it builds,
It builds,
that
yeah.
cohesion. It builds, being that she's not necessarily the only child, but she is, because she's the only one here at home. Um, so she, it builds social skills, things like that. So I would definitely encourage her to participate in sports, and hopefully she'll do that, even if it's just for, um, even if it's, even if she doesn't want to play in physical sport, maybe she wants to cheer. I don't know. We'll see. Some only time will tell. Right, like not like I said, right now she's just not there yet. Right now, if it's anything to deal with, she
Yeah,
loves
she's
to
still
run.
young. It's still young
Yeah,
because
she's still young, and she loves to
yeah.
run. Don't get me wrong, she loves to run. She actually loves to work out. My wife had her going to a young lady who does work out with students and stuff like that, because her son is, I think, a football player. So
Mhm.
she's like a personal trainer for the
Runner.
most part. So yeah, so Joe was going over there with her, and she likes it. She likes to go work out with her. She does a few workouts, and she's pretty good at working out. That's one thing that surprised me. She doesn't mind doing it, and she likes to work out, and she does the fitness ropes. She does, lunges, she does squats, she does all types of stuff, and she does real well at those things. So hopefully, like I said, somewhere down the line she'll pick up something you know that's interesting to her, and that she'll really want to participate. um I don't Of course, of course, I was an athlete. So and then her mom did play basketball in high school and stuff like that. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see that she'll choose to do one or the other, and it'll make me happy, and it'll make her mom happy, I'm sure. Appreciate
Appreciate it,
you,
Rodney.
RJ. Appreciate you.
So
Now,
this,
question: if you had a
yeah,
son, would you let them follow your footsteps in the service, since you know the business, and your daughter following your wife's path, doing the same thing? I would, Anthony. Anthony P. I would, if I had a son. I don't have a son, but if I had a son, yes, I would. Let me put it to you like this: even with the son now, I know a lot of people feel a little bit different when it comes to sons and daughters, because you want your son to be respected. You want your son to be somewhat a version of you, or a better version of you, should I say. Um, but I still would encourage my son to go to college first. If he can, if it's possible for him to go to college, that's what I would highly encourage him to go to college first, just like my daughter. Because I feel like that's a better path, in my opinion. Not knocking me, not knocking anyone who went military, because of course that was what I did. My brother did, and a lot of other people, like, Trey, and a lot of other folks. I'm not knocking anyone who's done that. However, I do feel like the college aspect is a route that I would prefer to for my kids to go. Um, yes, in regards to my daughter, I would love my daughter to take the same path as my wife. Like I said, my wife is a has her master's degree in nursing, so she makes good money as a nurse. Um, so I would definitely love my daughter to take that path. Will she? I don't know. Um, she's very caring. My daughter is very caring.
mhm.
My youngest is very caring, but so is my oldest. But my oldest has already chosen her path as of right now. She's young, so it could change. But right now, she wants to. She has chosen what is it? Early child development. So she's with the younger kids. She's kind of like a teacher. She's pretty much going into the teaching aspects for younger kids. So that's the path in which she's chose. But definitely, I would definitely love for my daughter to pick the same path, and maybe even go even a bit further, and maybe become a doctor. That would be
Mhm.
great as well, because my daughter is very smart. Sports are a good setup for physical fitness for the military. With the new PT tests, see too many that are unfit coming in. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, CNN. That was the case for me, man. I was good at sports, coming in high school and stuff like that. But when it came down to coming into the military and that PT,
Woo-hoo, boy.
boy, distance was not my thing.
When they sit
Distance
up and
running was
say
not.
you have to, when they sit up and say, like, it's like people having the slightest idea,
You have
repetition,
no idea. Yeah.
repetition, repetition. Because just like
Mm,
Bishop, that run, my first
mm,
2 mile run, I remember so vividly. 2 miles, 21 minutes.
mm.
2 miles and
Ooh.
21 minutes, and it's like,
And I tried
woo.
to prepare myself, Trey. That's the thing. I tried when I knew I was going in. I tried to go out and run, you know. and to prepare myself because I was never a distance runner. I was always a sprinter. I always did like the 4x100, the 100 minute, 100 meter
Hmm.
sprints and stuff like that. 4x2. Never was a long distance like cross country or nothing like that. Like Trey said, that is definitely an eye opener, without question, without question.
Yes, 2 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles. That was like, and tired. And I think the only thing, like Bishop was just saying, as he drops off for a second, the only thing that Bishop was just saying, which alluded to me, is for me, I had a couple of instances where I had to go and I was doing I was running, of course, in the being from not from Los Angeles. Let me before I say that, how dare me, being from Compton, uh, and going to. Well, I was recruited by a recruiter in Los Angeles. I was out there for the summer, and I had to go run the riverbed. If you're from California or anywhere around the West Coast, you know what a riverbed is. So the riverbed or the river basin, or whatever case like that, or with the paths in which, because we don't actually in the city, we don't actually have rivers, we have uh, foundations that are where the river may run in order to keep it from overflowing at certain times. So we used to run that, and of course, my recruiter, will let me know that, okay, you know what I'm saying. He's like, okay, you know what I'm saying. You can run. It's obvious you can run. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying, get used to the long distance running. And I had no idea what that meant. And then going in, even as far as going into basic training, I still had no idea what that meant until the first day we had to run. And we're talking about 94, and talking back 94 for those who are on here and who may have had a different route or path when it came to the basic training or their training. Or that first day we got there, we had to do an assessment, and my assessment was not the greatest. But in any case, yeah. So um, and that part, Chief, definitely that part. To if they haven't, and then like I say again, even whether it doesn't have to just be an adolescent child, it could be a teenage child, an adult child, or an adult. If they have no idea what they want to do or what they're supposed to be doing, it doesn't have to even just necessarily be my child. I'm always like, hey, have you ever thought about this or do this? Because nowadays there's so many different avenues that can be attained in different formats in different ways. So are we in the day and age where you can create your own show and be your own host and things in there. So it's a plethora of things that are out there to do. You just have to sit up and stick to one and kind of like, and you have to stay at it and keep on working it. It can't be deterred when it's no longer, when it's not going how you envisioned it or anything like that. Always never be afraid to start over as well. Two just sucks, but with the new Army PT test and the new standard, it's 21 minutes for the 22 mile. So I would have been good to TNN back then, or whatever case like that. So true that, definitely, definitely. So new standards, new PT tests. If y'all get a chance, go even Google it. New Army PT test is definitely not. Is definitely not what it used to be with just the three events, which is a 2 minute push ups, 2 minute sit ups, and a 2 mile run within your age group. Definitely a difference nowadays. Uh, Getting into a little NBA for all you 76ers fans that are out there. Um, Joel Embiid, of course, we know Philadelphia's star center, uh, underwent surgery for his two thumbs. As we know, he had tore a ligament in both in his fingers. Excuse me, in his thumbs. So he underwent the surgery yesterday. He came out and proved to be fine. They say he should be okay and should be ready to go by the start of camp, which most likely is going to be sometime in August, September timeframe. As the yes sir, yes sir. And I'm going to double back on something. I start a couple of things. So I want to double back, but we if we had time, I want to double back on something in in this particular in that particular topic, Coach. Um, but yes, like I said, Joel Embiid, he did undergo surgery. So surgery was successful, and he plans to be back or plan to have him back by the time their training camp starts. So Philly doesn't have any worries in reference to Joel Embiid's surgery. But additionally, Bishop, you back.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brown. Boston guard forward slash forward has signed with a new with another sports agency. Do you know what that sports agency is?
Who? Jalen Brown?
Jalen Brown, JB.
Mm-mm.
He is now the first NBA player to sign with Donda Sports. Now joining Aaron Donald, as Aaron Donald was the first NFL player. And now they have two marquee stars in Jalen Brown and Aaron Donalds. So I wonder what Donda is over there offering.
Mm-mm.
So yesterday I didn't get a chance to bring this up, Bishop. So Donda, as we know, is ran by was started by uh, Kanye West and
Mm.
Antonio Brown.
Mm. Didn't know that.
Yes. So I asked the question not yesterday, but on Monday. Um, would you be reluctant to that um, enter into that particular agency, knowing who's at the helm of it and their past, or would you just be like, you know what, everyone deserves a chance and grace? They can or they have been productive in some of the things they have done. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Just because people may act up a certain way um, on the field and through, what may be going on within their, lives in regards to their professional
Hmm.
uh, life doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be the same type of person within their business.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Coach,
Kanye, I'm assuming I know he went to college. Well, it's Kanye. You said Kanye West, right?
yeah, Kanye West.
Yeah. So um, I know he went to college and all of that. So I'm assuming that's what his degree has is a part of that. I'm assuming. So
I'm not
I'm
sure,
hoping
but
he
what
was
I
not
do, if you
NC2.
keep in mind, frame, like I watched his documentaries, a couple of his documentaries, and
Mm-hmm.
Kanye marketed himself. So that, you know what I'm saying. So, but we what we know and what we understand is neither one of them are going to be agents. They're just the catalyst for the avenue for the
For the
yeah
right, they're just
for the agency.
they're the backing, right? They're the
Yeah,
backing of the
they're the
agency, right?
backing, but I'm very sure they're going to have, because it's their brand at this point. I'm very sure they're going to have some input in reference to certain things. And like I said, Kanye West didn't start out Rockefeller. He didn't
Right.
have, you know, say Rockefeller kind of. If y'all watch the documentary, Rockefeller kind of
Right,
held him at bay, and he had to do everything on his own. He marketed himself.
right.
He did everything, all that type of stuff. So his
And with that,
interview.
Anthony, I think that's why you saying hell no with Kanye and stuff, but he does know how to market.
Hmm.
Obviously, like Trey said, he marketed himself. Remember the little bear he had, or was a
Yeah,
bear,
for the
right?
combat, yeah, the
Yeah,
college dropout.
yeah, right. Remember and that did well for him. You know what I'm saying? That did real well for him, and so he definitely knows how to market himself. So I'm sure he has the capabilities of being able to market his
Client,
clients
yeah.
in the near future. So I don't see a problem with that. Now, AB, I don't know if AB's, we of course we know he went to college, but we don't. Like just like Kanye, I don't know what his degree is in. If he did finish and got his degree, but hopefully, just like Kanye, hopefully it's something in regards to um,
I think it might. Be,
marketing or
I think it might be an odd couple in a sense, but it could probably work when you start looking at the other aspects. It's just you just hope that it doesn't come out to be those things, those situations in which they have had over the course
mhm.
of their, you know,
And
saying of the bad
yeah,
part.
that
Yeah, that part.
right.
Yeah,
That none of the things in which they've done, in recent time has a hindrance on what they do professionally in regards to their business. But we'll see. New companies offer better incentives to those who are the first to join. More control, more incentives in the path of stocks, crypto, ownership, and stake in larger companies is what is enticing athletes today. Facts. That is facts, and they're well known names. I mean, we talking about Kanye and Antonio Brown. They're not, they're household names. They're not people that we've never heard of. It's just the fact of the matter that we are talking to about two individuals who have arguably been considered mental cases in a way. If you want to say, air quotes, some people feel Kanye has a mental um uh
Well, he does.
and
Yeah, he does. But still,
and
like you said, it
and so
doesn't
does
mean that you
Anthony
can't.
Brown, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Antonio Brown, by his
So
his on field
so
and
okay.
off field
So
actions.
Sid is a world class swimmer. Is she going to sign? Is she signing to Donda Sports or First Formation Sports?
I don't know. I would have to see exactly what both are offering. I can't say. I don't know what they're offering. When it comes down to it, a lot
We
about
we
it's a lot of it's a
we
lot
would
about the
we
red
would
tape
own
and the
first. We would own
and
First
all of the
Formation
information.
Sports. We would own First Formation Sports.
Right, but that doesn't necessarily, just because we own for First Formation Sports doesn't mean that's a good fit for her. See, a lot of people, and I know where you're going with that, because I'm her father, that doesn't necessarily mean that I am the perfect person to be that
True that.
person to manage
Yeah,
her.
she may need to go
Some
somewhere
people,
else
sometimes you might need to go under other people
because you get in your
who
own
has
way. It's personal, too
right.
personal.
Too personal, that part, and we find ourselves getting caught up because it's personal. It's your family, so you
Hmm.
find yourself being a little blinded
Of
to a
course,
few
a
things.
close friend, like, oh, I didn't watch her grow up since. You know what I'm saying? I've been there the
Right.
whole time. Like, nah, slide to the left. Let her make that
Sometimes you got
decision. Yeah.
right. Sometimes you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, not all parents have good tendencies. Some parents don't. Some we know a lot of. We see it all the time, Trey. We see, especially me when being a youth football coach. We see fathers trying to live their high school dreams through their kids, pushing them in ways that they probably should kind of like back off of them, and let them live their sports life. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Quit trying to
or
live
even
your life
or
between
even truth be
through them.
told, more in our wheelhouse. How many times have you have a service member that was basically sending all his money home or her
Mm,
money home? You know what I'm
right.
saying? Where you know what I'm saying, taking care of family and all that type of send that money home, and you gotta. It's no different. You gotta continue to uh guide them kids because some of them are people who ain't never had a dollar bill in their life of their own, and or some of them are helping. They need their families are struggling or have family members that are struggling or need things in which it causes and then they have to or they feel obligated to have to break bread and do that type of stuff. So in any case, you know, saying it comes out in that fact of the matter. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree. It just have to be a conversation in which you understood. Of course, being in, and I'm a person like I don't care who you are. We can be rivals in a situation if you legitly. I sit up and look at it ultimately as you can be better than me in certain aspects, and I have to take that all into consideration when it comes to
Right.
certain things. If I realize that I can't work for you, I'm going to sit up and be like, "Hey, go here." But on the opposite side of the coin, I'm also going to recognize if we can or cannot, and I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you all the information, and so you can make a greatly informed decision to decide if you want to deal with me or you want to deal with the other. But it's all going to be out. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be full transparency.
Right. That's a good question, Coach Hunter. My question is: Kanye and AB simply the face of the company or actual owners? That's a huge difference. That
They
is a
own it.
huge difference.
They started it.
So they own it. And so
Yeah.
they own it. So they started it. So therefore, um, yeah, they're behind
So
the
I'm very
scenes.
sure it's going to be plenty input. I'm very sure they're going to have
Yeah.
plenty input.
Well, of course, being the owner. But are you the type of owner that are
Hands
you a
on.
Jerry Jones? Oh yeah, are you a Jerry Jones type owner? Are you
Mm,
a Mark Cuban type owner?
mm.
Or are you know what I'm saying? Or are you one of those owners that kind of like sit back in the cut and let things happen and let your
It just be
people
the face.
do the job? Right.
It just be the
Do the
face.
job. Yeah. Do you allow your people to do the job, or do you micromanage and try and put in all your ideas and screw everybody else's ideas because you're the owner.
As a matter of fact, this is another thing we want to double back to, so you can keep it pushing. But we want to double back to that too, because I have a question for you, Bishop, being a
Hmm.
founder in yourself, so that you can preface your mind for because you're probably gonna know what some of the questions I ask. But of course,
Hmm.
Disney. So another question come up. Well, now that I think about being asking that question about would you allow her or him or the kid to go to this or that, I asked this question, right? I don't know how I was watching this, but Gilly the Kid, anyone, of course, Philly representatives know who Gilly the Kid is. Other people probably know who Gilly the Kid is. So I was watching. Gilly the Kid was having an interview. I think it was a year or so ago, which he was talking to uh, Tatum,
Jason
Jason
Tatum.
Tatum. Yeah, he's talking to
Mhm,
Jason Tatum, and he asked Jason
mhm.
Tatum a question. And I sit up and thought, I went to sleep thinking about this question, and I didn't know what the answer was. And I'm not going. I don't want y'all to answer it right now. I'm going to ask it, give you a chance to answer, and then we're going to go. We're going to go over a couple more things, and then we're going to come back to your answer. So get it. You know, what I'm saying, let it simmer a little bit, let it marinate, and then come back. But the answer was, I know someone's going to jump out and just say whatever, but listen to the question. Think about it. Like really think about it cold heartedly. The question was, whose career would you have preferred? Charles Barkley's or Robert Horry's? Horry's. So think about that. Don't answer it just yet. Let's think about it. Then we'll come back to it. But whose career would you have preferred, Robert Horry's or Charles Barkley? So
I don't think that's a difficult question, but okay.
well, but just think about it for a second, because yes,
I
true enough.
am. There's really not a whole lot to think about, to be
Okay,
honest,
okay.
in my opinion.
We got a couple of things that we'll come back to it, because I can assure you this is going to spark something. But so as we know, we know, the Boston plays tomorrow against Golden State, and
Hmm.
we talked about it yesterday, in which we everyone believes that Golden State is going to probably walk away with the championship, not literally walk away, but they're going to probably be victorious. Some factors in which we look at it now, which I think about, what may adds even more of a possibility for that is Golden State may be getting back Gary Payton the third, Otto Porter Jr. and Andre Iguodala, which adds even more depth to their bench, especially in the latter of the two, who are Porter's not that bad of a two-way player, and Gary Payton was one of the more so better defensive specialists. Adds even more depth to it. But the real question I have for you, Bishop, is: does Steph finally get the NBA championship MVP this year?
That's I can't say that until we
He
watch
won
the game,
he won the conference one. So you think
right?
he's only
Because we
projected?
watched. Well, yeah, but we saw his play. We got to see how he plays in the finals to see if he gets Finals MVP. And we don't know what he's going to do, so it's hard to say. It's hard to predict that he's going to get it if we don't know if he's how he's going to actually,
We
you know,
we we see what people
perform.
do, and we see what people do, and we predict who's going to win the championship.
We predict who's going to win the championship, but the thing about um, um, Steph is it's just not him on that team.
True,
It could go to
like you
it could
said,
go to a
he
numerous
hasn't
people.
what? Yeah, they've won what, 3 or 4 championships, and he hasn't got any of those. So, but
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's why his already a
That's what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
talk
It could
is
go to
a lot of
yeah,
talk
it
is
could go
that
to a
he
bunch of
hasn't.
people.
A lot of talk is that he is. That's the only thing that's eluding him is the NBA championship,
What do
which
you mean? Huh?
because that's the only thing he hasn't won. He's
He
won
hasn't won an NBA. He hasn't won what?
NBA Finals championship.
Who hasn't?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry hasn't won an NBA championship.
He
What?
hasn't won the NBA Finals, the MVP award.
Oh, the MVP. You said an NBA championship. I was like, what?
Well, the NBA
You talk
championship
about the
MVP.
NBA. You mean the Finals MVP? That's what you
Yeah,
mean.
he hasn't won it yet.
Yeah,
He's never won it.
yeah. The Finals MVP. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, true, and that's why I say that's too early to say that now because the times in which they won before he didn't win it. So that's what I'm saying. It's too early to say whether or not he's gonna win it or not. Even when they won it without KD, he still didn't get in Finals
Well, he didn't
MVP.
get. Well, we know why he didn't get it, because Andre Iguodala came off the bench and performed masterfully, so
Right.
they gave it to
So
him rightfully.
right, but this time it could be Clay winning the in Finals MVP because again, excuse me, but I personally feel like I personally feel like, again, I've said this before about Steph. I feel like he still hasn't showed the true Steph hasn't showed up. Will the real Steph Curry please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Because he hasn't done it yet. In my opinion, we have not seen the actual Steph yet. In my personal opinion, I feel like we've been we've been deprived of the actual Steph Curry that we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is probably the time for the real Steph to stand up in these finals. And if he stands up, he definitely has the capacity to get the MVP, Finals MVP. But he's going to, if they win, it's going to be a battle between him and Clay, probably without question. Unless Poole just really shows out, really
Mm,
shows out, or Wiggins. Wiggins could
the
fool
dark
around and
horse, yeah.
be one too. Yeah, he could come around and do it too. So it's a few people on that squad who could actually pull out the MVP.
So it's a chance. So answer this, and you said that we talk about the Golden State Warriors. When you transverse to the Boston in the quick conversation about them, Al Horford has played in 141 playoff games. So he's playing his first championship
Right.
in
First finals,
141 games
first
and
finals
141
appearance.
playoff games. Yes,
Right. First
141
finals
first finals
appearance.
appearance. Do you think he can parlay this into a championship? I don't want him to. We already know that. I'll be first in saying that I don't want him to do
I don't know. I don't
a
know. I don't
chance.
know if
You know, thinks is
I don't I don't know if Al Horford can. I don't know.
him not
I don't
alone. Well, of course we know him not alone. He came, but do you think he's gonna? Do you think he's gonna like just saying like we was talking about
He's
yesterday?
going to be
Like
a key
someone.
factor.
Okay.
He's going to be Al Horford is definitely going to be a key factor in regards to whether or not Boston makes this a 7 game series and possibly um, becomes have an opportunity to win. Don't be surprised if anyone versus Tatum make matchup makes the difference and Wiggins gets considered. That's what I'm
You
saying,
know what?
Coach. You're
Someone said I can't
That's what
remember
I'm
which
saying.
one of our panelists yesterday said it, but someone said Wiggins and Tatum are going to cancel each other out.
Yeah,
I
it was
was
Coach.
it Coach Fields? I mean Coach Paris, or was it Coach Parker?
No, I think it was Coach Parker.
When he said, I was like, wow,
Yeah, he said Wiggins and
really?
Tatum gonna cancel each other out. Yeah,
No, Green
yeah.
has not. Price Green has never won it.
No, he hasn't won the MVP either. No, he has not. But yeah,
Andre Iguodala won the first one for the first championship, and
and
then
then
after,
KD,
yeah, KD
KD
won the
won
other
the other.
ones.
Yeah. Hunt. So I feel you, Coach. I do. Wiggins is I. Wiggins and Tatum. Uh, yeah, that's very interesting. Even when Coach Price said that yesterday, I think it's Price.
Coach Parker.
What's his name? Parker. When Coach Parker said that, I'm sorry. When Coach Parker said that yesterday, I was even kind of like, ugh.
Oh, so you heard
Anyway,
it too?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I heard him say it. Yeah. So that is very interesting. Wiggins and Tatum canceling each other out.
My
So
spidey
I
senses
mean,
start tingling. I was like, wait, what?
but then if you cancel that, who cancels out Jalen Brown? Clay? Does Clay
Nah,
and
because
Jalen
because
Brown cancel each
because
other out?
he did reference and go back and say Clay used to be one of the most saying sound
Defensive player, right?
2-way players, but K's not there
Not no more,
defensively yet. He's not there
right?
defensively. So is that a Draymond
Right.
Green assignment? I don't know. For the most
Who? What
part,
you saying for Jalen Brown?
yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
But
it
you can't
remains.
put
I
for
would.
me. So for me, do you put Draymond on Jalen, or do you allow do you put Draymond on Horford?
They got Looney. All he needs to do
They
is
do
be a
got
big
Mooney.
body.
Then
He just needs
but
to
you
be
got
a
to
big
worry
body.
about Williams. You got to worry about Williams.
That's what you got. You still have Clay, and then and then
Ugh, Clay
and
with
then
Williams.
yeah, a big
Clay
body.
going. Yeah, but Williams got height over Clay.
How tall is
That's
which
why I
Williams?
think.
Oh, you talk about the other Williams, Robert Williams.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
right.
about Grant Williams. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking about Robert Williams. I'm talking about the
Okay,
big guy, the big man in the paint.
mm,
That's what
that's
I'm
a good
saying.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's why I said this matchup is going to be something to see because it's
Okay, I
so
knew
many
Coach was
key
coming with
factors.
this soon. Clay versus Jalen,
Steph
Steph and
versus Smart,
Marcus.
Wiggins and Tatum, Draymond versus Horford. See, that's what I said. Draymond and Horford. That's what I saw. That's what I'm in. Looney and Williams. That this series is a lot closer to. I'm with you, Coach Hunter. I'm the exact same. That's what I say. I said the same thing. I said people talking about 4-1. I don't see 4-1. I see it going 7. I don't see 4-1, bro. I don't. I don't see because what you have right there, Coach Hunter, is exactly what I see. That's what I said. I don't see Draymond on Jalen. I see Draymond on Horford. I don't see Draymond on Jalen. I don't. But then, like Tay said, can Clay hold down Jalen? Because Clay's defense isn't there right now. That's not the Clay defense that we're used to. That's not the two-sided of defense in which we've seen two-sided, two-headed monster that we've seen in the Clay in the past. Clay is still trying to get back to that. That's what I said yesterday. It's showtime. It is showtime, Freddie. It's definitely showtime, bro. Without question, it is showtime. I wouldn't be surprised with Boston in 6. I feel you, Coach. I feel you, Coach. I am truly stuck on 7. I'm truly stuck on that. It is going 7 games. I do. I really believe that it's going to go 7. Curry versus Smart. That's not going to be. That's not going to look good. Curry is too small. But see, this is the thing. I feel where you're going with that, Anthony. In regards to Curry too small for Smart, but Curry's too fast for Smart as well. Smart has to run all over the court chasing Steph. He's gonna have to run all over the court to chase Steph. What up, G? What's good with you, man? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Steph is going to have, Smart has going to have, Mark is going to have to run all over the court to chase Steph. He is. So I don't see they definitely pushing it to 7. Thank you, G. Thank you. That's what I think too. I really feel like Steph, it's going 7 games. Steph might be too small for Smart, but Smart is going to lose a lot of gas trying to chase Steph around all them screens. He's really going to have a problem with that. I think everybody has a problem with that. When you chasing Steph all over the court, man, it's trying to stop him from making that, pushing that, um, trying to those picks and trying to get those threes up, bro. You gotta have some good conditioning and stamina because Steph gonna run you. He's going to run you, and as well as Clay, because Clay's coming off them picks as well, both of them. So somebody's it's about who gonna have the best stamina and the most endurance to be able to stay in it, and for 7 games, in my opinion. That's just me though. That's just me.
So you saying 7? I see
Yeah,
Coach
oh
said
yeah,
6.
yeah. I definitely say
Oh,
7.
he said Boston in 6. The coach.
Yeah,
But you say
yeah.
you say Golden State in 7.
I say Golden State in 7, but Boston and he's saying Boston in 6. And we know um, Coach P last night said Coach P said yesterday Boston,
Boston in 6.
and I think the other coach said
Coach
Boston too, didn't he?
Coach Daniel. No, he said Golden State. I
Oh,
think he
okay,
said Golden State.
okay. I know. Whatchamacallit said Golden State, but with Marcus Smart and how he plays, he can actually switch every assignment. Draymond is not a threat to score, so you don't have to guard him. Facts, facts. You don't necessarily have to guard Draymond, but you do have to guard Poole. You do have to
G
guard
G,
Jordan.
you say you push the 7. Who you going with? Golden
Yeah,
State or Boston?
but with Marcus Smart and oh yeah, yeah, Draymond, yeah, he's definitely not an offensive threat. We know that. Are the Warriors playing home game 5 or 6?
Game 6.
Yeah, because game 7 is back in Boston. Boston has the home court,
And the
I
Warriors
think.
have not
Yeah.
lost at home all season, all playoffs.
And again, they've tied this series between them two. They're 1-1. They both won a game against each other this season. So that's why it's gonna be a good one. It's
Okay.
definitely gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a barn burner.
We'll see starting tomorrow
Starting
night.
tomorrow. Starting tomorrow. It begins. And let the
So
show
so
begin.
going back to that question, Bishop, in which you said is a no brainer. I assume that you're going to choose the Hall of Fame career of Charles Barkley.
No, I'm picking
Oh
Hori. I'm picking
no,
Hori. Yeah,
really?
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was that out of left field. Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You picking the chips.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Like
What are you
what
playing for?
yeah. If you haven't won, if you're irrelevant, I don't care how good your season was.
Wow.
If I don't, I'm just being honest. I don't care how good your season was. I don't care how many accolades you got. One accolade that you did not get. You never won an MVP, a Finals MVP, and you never won a Finals.
You can't win the
That's
other one
huge.
without you can't win the finals MVP without
Without
winning
winning,
the championship.
thank you. Right. So, and Ori has done both. Come on, bro. Like that's why I said it was a no brainer for me. I would rather have Ori, and then the fact that he's done it with so many different teams. Like
Three
this
teams.
dude,
He's won the
yeah,
championship on every team he played on.
come on, bro. Like that was a no brainer for me. I definitely would prefer to have Hori's career, in my opinion. Not taking nothing
Mm.
away from Charles,
Or
because
anyone
he's
else in that fact, because we got
no, yeah,
John
no,
Stockton, Karl
yeah,
Malone,
all of them, the Mel Milan, yeah, none of them. I'm not taking anything from any of those guys,
Clyde
but
Drexler.
yeah, all of those. Nothing from any of them. However, I still got to go with Ori because of the fact that he did win and he won a few. That's just me. Can we talk about the mentor of both?
Coaches coming from Pop's tree,
Get
and
enough
then
credit
Duca
for how many
and
coaches he has developed. Kerr, Duca, or the Pop is clearly without question, Coach Hunter. He is definitely the GOAT. He is the Nick Saban of NBA basketball, without question. But do you put him, Coach Hunter? My question: do you put him over Pat Riley? Do you put him over um
Phil Jackson.
uh Phil Jackson? Do you put Greg? Do you put GP over all those two coaches? Is he considered the GOAT over those two, or is Riley and what's it called, the GOAT? But I too I totally feel you. I get you.
So he's definitely a mentor if you think about it. But so what? Some of the things of what I look at, like of course we talk about the mentorship because he comes from he came from their lineage as players as well as presumably coaches also from a coaching aspect. But how much of that do we actually attribute to the coach for that fact of the matter? No different from Hammond, she's killing it in Las Vegas as the WNBA coach, another coach from under his tree. So is it the coach? Is it truly the mentorship in which in that case you could attest it to be some of that being that it is that from the coach and the coach paying attention and listening to Coach Pop, or is it the coach and they just happen to be under Pop's tree? Because it could be a situation where they didn't particularly care for, saying they was with him, but they seen some things. I'm a big purveyor of when you are in certain situations, it's not a mistake, it was a learning process. So you good, bad, and different. You take something from mentors. When I used to have my soldiers, I used to tell them, good, bad, or different, you should be getting something from me. As a leader, good, bad, or different. Even I'm never going to do that as a leader. I will do that as a leader. I'm melancholy on this as a leader, saying, or a little bit of everything. So that of course is my aspect on it. So I always think about that, like how much of it actually is that they learned from Pop, saying from a positive standpoint, and how much of it is that they just learn and see some things, and because he's been at it so long and he's been so good at what he was doing for the most part, or he has so much sustainability and longevity that they were able to take things from it, whether it be positive, negative, or indifferent, and now you see that in them as coaches as well as players. I'm very sure that having the players works with as well. He's the goat, Pat.
So I totally, yeah. I mean, I get it. Easily, he's done it. But the thing is, I got it. Pop been doing it 3 to 4 decades, Coach. Got you. But when has Pop really been relevant? in the last 5 years? Be honest. Like, has he been relevant within the last 5 seasons?
Well, he became
4 to 5 seasons.
the all time winning coach,
I
but
mean,
it
he
took.
did right. He did win that. He did get that accolade for being the all-time winningest coach in NBA history. But has he take when the last time he took his team to the finals? We always talk about coaches going out or players going out on top. A lot of people feel like Pop should have probably let that go up a couple of years ago, a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like Pop is at a point. Pop has kind of like, I won't say tarnished his legacy, but it's. I mean, like, just think about it. He's That's fair, but if you look at the 30 teams in the league, how many coaches are in position because of him? Got you. Totally agree. But I totally agree with that part, Coach Hunter. Totally. You're right. Because of his tutelage, he has produced some great coaches. He has produced some great coaches. However, he could do that without being a coach himself and not tarnish, not necessarily tarnish, because I keep saying tarnish, but
I was
um
gonna say, you think he's tarnishing his career by continuing
I
and
don't
with lackluster
no,
seasons?
I don't want to say tarnish because I
I'm
feel
not
like
career,
no,
his legacy
yeah, his legacy. It's. I feel like I'll put it like this. I feel like his legacy is
solidified
taking a
already.
hit. Well,
Okay,
it is solidified because, like you say, he is the most winningest coach in the NBA history. But I do feel like it is taking a hit because of the fact that he hasn't been to finals in years, and that his team is not doing um, as well as his former teams that he's had. And of course, we understand he doesn't have the players in which he used to have. They're definitely rebuilding out here in San Antonio. Um, but I do feel like his legacy is taking a hit because of the fact that I personally feel, and like I said, a lot of other people feel. I feel like he probably should have stepped down a few years ago. And while his legacy, while his it wasn't as bad as it has been in the past few years. That's just me though.
okay.
That's just me.
So before we get into this, a little NFL talk, let's give some love to the ladies as there was 4 games slated last night. WNBA action. First off, the Washington Mystics, 7-3, took on the Indiana Fever at 3-8. Mystics winning 87-75. Of course, they were led by Ariel Atkins, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 19 points from Elena Deladon, 16 points from Natasha Cloud, 10 points from Elizabeth Williams, 8 for Kennedy Burke. The Fever, 26 points from Kelsey Mitchell, 13 from the Lisa Smith, 9 points from Destiny Henderson, 11 from Victoria Vivians. But again, as we stated, it wasn't enough. Washington Mystics were in the driver's seat and were victorious. Additionally, the Phoenix Mercury, still without Brittany Griner, as she is still dealing with her situation in Russia,
Detained.
uh,
Yeah.
in the detainment, in which Phoenix Mercury took on Candace Parker and the Chicago Sky. Sky 5-3, Phoenix 2-7 as the Sky pulled out with a 73-70 victory. The Mercury were led by 24 points from center Tina Charles, 12 points from Skylar Diggins Smith, Diana Taurasi in 13 minutes of play, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Diamond DeShields, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 points from Megan Gustafsson. Breonna Taylor with 37 minutes of play, 2 points, 9 rebounds, no assists. The Chicago Sky led by 18 points from Courtney Vandersloot, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 points from Rebecca Gardner, 3 points, 1 rebound, 5 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists from Candace Parker. Kalea Cooper, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and from Emma Messerman, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. As like we said, the Sky were victorious with a 73-7 victory. Correction, hold up, go back. The two other games from last night, of course, Marquee with the with the Connecticut Sun, doing battle with the Vegas Aces, as we was just speaking about Becky Hammond and her
What up, Rick?
being her as a coach. Connecticut Sun, 6-3. Las Vegas Aces now 9-1. Of
Mm.
course, the lone loss coming from a particular team we'll speak about in a second. The Aces were victorious, 89-81. The Suns was led by 14 points from DeWanda Bonner, 12 points from Breonna Jones, 13 points from Courtney Williams, 8 from Natasha Higman, Jonquel Jones, 8 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. The Aces led by Jackie Young's 21 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 13 points, rebounds, 6 assists from Chelsea Gray, 24 points. Correction, led by AJ Wilson's 24 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. Kelsey Plum, 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists, and Kia Stokes, 4 points. As he said, like he said, the WNBA leading Suns with one loss. Of course, that one loss coming to my beloved Los Angeles Sparks, in which the Los Angeles Sparks were in battle last night as well, facing the Dallas Wings, and came out victorious 93-91. Lakers moved to 5. Correction, Sparks moved to 5-6. Led by 19 points from Liz Cambridge, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Correction, 25 points from Brittany Sykes, 1 rebound, 6 assists. 19 points from Liz Cambridge, 16 points from Nika Gumuke. K. Lou Salmonson contributed with 13 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. 9 points from Kennedy Carter. Uh, Wings had some stat fillers. LA was running at one point. They was up by like 15 points, and they walked them in. But of course, led by 20 points from Isabella Harrison, 16 points apiece from Enrique Aguamwe and Marina Mabry, 10 points from Alicia Gray, and Satal Salbali contributed with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Of course, they are slated for, I believe, 2 games tonight, in which they will be the Minnesota Lynx versus the Atlanta Dream, and the Indiana Fever will take on the Liberty. Uh, so I know Coach has said some question about Steph Curry or LeBron in Russia detained. Will more be done?
My personal opinion is that my personal opinion of that, Coach Hunter, is just like Anthony Price said. Um, I don't think you would find Steph Curry or LeBron James doing something like that. That was a bonehead mistake by Brittany Griner. I don't know why you felt the need to do that when we know there are states here, there are states that are there marijuana is legalized in. So just go to Colorado or California.
It
And,
must have
and
been that fire. It must have been that
but
fire. She must have played an arm
it
in a
can't
leg for
be,
that.
but it ain't that fire where it's got you detained, incarcerated. That it's just not that. I mean, in my
Come on,
opinion,
let's keep it 100.
it's not. It's not worth all that. It's
Maybe
not.
not you, but how many times has you know what I say that? Matter of fact, I'll
I'm
send
just
it to you.
saying, no,
I'll send it to
no,
you
don't
in a
say
private.
nothing.
I send it to
No,
you in a private chat.
don't save it.
There's a
No, don't
reason
save it.
why
Let
I
everybody
can't
want
say. There's a
to.
reason why
Inquiring
I can't
minds
say
want to
it.
know. No, inquiring minds want to know. No, don't save it because I'm be. I feel like Anthony Price, man. I feel like we would never hear. That's one thing. That is one thing. That is one thing that I will give credit to LeBron James for sure. LeBron James is about his business. One thing you will not hear is any negative about LeBron James. That's one thing he does not do. And even the fact of the matter that he came into the league as a teenager and got in no one's trouble. Got in no I mean Kobe did it too, but no, I take that back. Kobe got in trouble. Kobe did the little thing with his wife. He got caught cheating. I take that back. I take that back. But LeBron,
Look
that's
at the private. Look at the private chat. But
LeBron never. That's one thing. Stupid man. I'm not fooling with you, dude.
I'm just
No,
saying. That's you know what I'm saying. So it's like the people like so.
but that's
It's a
totally
possibility.
different.
No, but I'm saying.
No, that
I'm
is
just
different.
saying.
We're
I'm just
talking
saying.
about a
That's
substance. We're
it,
talking about a substance compared to a person. You can't compare the two. That's totally different. We're talking about a substance that is completely illegal to do.
Hey,
Completely illegal. That we know that it's completely illegal. So, like I said, I was saying like I know where you're going, Ricky Williams. I'm just saying I don't feel like that was just a bonehead mistake by Brittany. Bishop, how many times have you drove far away for some good food because it's fire?
he did it the
But
other day when
again,
he drove like an hour and a half to go. What he said to take Sid to
Waffle
not the other
House.
day. Yeah,
Yeah, this was a while back, but I took Sid to the Waffle. She woke up and go to a Waffle House, and my Waffle House is like 40. The closest Waffle House to us is like 45 minutes away. I've done that
and we
plenty of
know the
times,
Waffle
Anthony.
House is not fire,
But
so I don't know
Anthony,
what
yes, it is. It's beyond fire. But we
Jesus.
know the thing of the matter is, AP, is good food is not illegal. Good
Mm.
food is not illegal. You're not what we fail to recognize is the fact that she's trying to smuggle an illegal substance into the country. You can't do that. You can't compare food to an illegal substance. You can't. But again, my thing is, you're Brittany Griner. You're playing ball over in Russia. Like AP said, you've been playing over there for a minute. You know the rules. Don't try to sneak that stuff back over here. Why not just get to the States, go to California, go to Colorado, go to these states that are legalized marijuana and get you a cartridge from there?
And
Why
so
try to come
I
on,
think
man? But the
so.
problem
What's
is the
coach?
way that
Yeah, coach is saying it leads to the simple fact that the bigger problem is that they have to go overseas in order to be able to make a living because they
right,
don't get paid enough here in the United States for the
got it.
same thing. That's the so if she hadn't been there playing, then she wouldn't have had to been there trying to smuggle
But is
back.
that but that sounds like an excuse though. That's an
Mm.
excuse because you're over there playing. That means you got to try and smuggle back an illegal substance. No, because you don't have to do that over there. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something you have. And obviously, Coach Hunter, they obviously don't have any type of um what is it substance check over there. Obviously, because if she over there doing it like that, they must not be checking their their
The
specimens over there.
urinalysis. Mhm.
Yeah, your analysis and stuff like they must not be checking that over there. Which right there, that's even other than now. Don't get me wrong, I get it. These women that are playing for the WNBA, they're definitely not making the money which they feel like they should be making, and I totally understand that. And I know they have to go over there across the water to make up for what they're not making in the states. I get it, but that doesn't justify for you trying to because you making money over there doesn't mean because I'm making money over here I'm gonna bring back an illegal substance. That's
I
not
just think
that
I just
that's
think
not
we
it, bro.
so I think when it just be what you just said,
Agreed,
I know
Coach
coach.
Hunter.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. I know coach is trying to make the point that it's a bigger issue, it's
It
a
is.
systemic issue. But on the lighter side of things, I just think it had to just been that fire, and she was not willing to
It
relinquish that
probably
and just
was.
say, I
It
don't
probably
know
was. And
what you
she
know. What I'm
probably
saying
couldn't
what
get rid of it. Yeah, she probably couldn't
she,
get rid of it. She
she
like,
couldn't
yeah,
smoke it all, just because she
right,
couldn't vape it
right,
all. I was like, you know what? I'm just going
right.
to go ahead and try to take it back with me.
She took a chance. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. You
it
everybody
had
has
to be.
taken chances.
It had to be that ooh wee if she took a
Yeah,
chance.
people take a chance, and she probably wanted to get it, come back and give it to one of her girls,
Yeah,
maybe
I
her
was gonna
wife
say
or
share it with
whatever.
somebody and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like,
and be
hey, I
like,
got
hey
to
man,
know
let me tell you,
this
I
the
told y'all
fire.
about this. Yeah, I done
Yeah,
told y'all about this. I brought something back. Got it. We get it. We get it. We get it. But when you take those chances, you got to suffer the consequences sometimes. And right now, she's suffering that consequence. And was it well worth it? I would understand if it was one or two. She took a couple.
couple,
Exactly.
couple. Yeah, she tried to
Yeah,
change.
that's what I'm saying. She tried to do too much, man. You try to do too much. And don't get me wrong. I want them to free. I do want them to free Brittany Griner. I'm all for them freeing her
And at
and
the end of the day, we
letting her
realize
come
it's
back.
political.
It is very political. We know, especially with all the stuff that's going on in Ukraine and all. We know it's political. We get it. We totally get it. But somebody's got to be the scapegoat. Somebody got to be the example. And
And she made it
unfortunately, it
like
has to be her.
when we go through training, TARP training, and for those who know what TARP training, one of the things you're always told is do not make yourself a target, do not stand
That's right.
out. And that's exactly what
What
presumably
she did.
made her. So she made it. She opened the door for them to be like, "Hey, this is an obvious reasons to hold her."
Yes.
And now
Right.
here we are. But of course, like you said, still free Brittany Griner. We want her to get back. We're not saying that she didn't do anything wrong. We're just saying that the reason for her being held could is wrong and what we was
Right.
not in agreement with, and we would like her
Right.
back.
But
Her team is better.
I do not, Coach Hunter, feel as though Steph Curry or LeBron James would do something of that nature. I don't.
But I think they will try to do everything to get him back. Think about when Lamelo Ball.
So you feel like you think they would do more for him for them to get him
I
back
mean,
than they're
not
doing for Brittany
when
Griner?
so
In other words,
Leandro. Think about when Leandro Ball was locked up in the Chinese system after trying to steal those glasses or whatever he tried to take
oh
in
yeah, yeah,
China.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah.
they were able to get him back. He did do it. He stayed over there a little bit of time, but they was able to give him back. So I'm not saying that they would. It would be any different. But then again, we're talking about Brittany Griner and LeAngelo Ball compared to LeBron
LeBron
James
James
or
and Steph
Steph
Curry.
Curry. Completely, what I'm saying? It's levels to it. And their level and their
Do
their
you? So do you
levels is
think?
different.
So are you saying that Brittany Griner is expendable compared to
Ooh, that's a good question.
compared to a LeBron James and
Hmm.
a Steph Curry?
I wouldn't say that she's expendable. Definitely not expendable. I just think that, and what I think one of the things what coach is talking about, like we talked, they had that like heavy in the news for a little bit when LeAngelo was
Mm-hmm.
in that situation. Um,
Right.
but um, I'm not saying she's expendable.
But it sounds like you're saying that
No, no, I don't
because
think.
we
I'm just
know
saying. I'm just saying.
we
I
know
think.
that, like
I
you
think
said,
it's
they got
levels.
ball back. They got ball back, and he did something just but still some glasses. Is it because of what it was? Is it because the reasoning behind both of those individuals being detained, or is it the country itself? Like that part, coach. That part, coach. That's my
So
whole
yeah,
reasoning
so I don't think
behind
it's expandable, but like you said, what's newsworthy is newsworthy, and that's what it becomes
it.
from
Okay.
the media standpoint. What's newsworthy is newsworthy.
Okay.
Even here for us when we sit up and talk about things and do things and stuff of that nature, we report what we believe is newsworthy. We try to give as much as we can in a 2 hour show, but we have to expound on some things. So what is newsworthy is definitely a newsworthy. There's been plenty of times in which we sit up and had conversations about stuff in which you just relented to really didn't want to go into because at that time you didn't feel it was newsworthy. So I think what has happened is Brittany Griner's situation became very newsworthy for the simple fact of what was going on in the
Mhm.
Ukraine in reference to Russia, and it has been,
Right.
and it was she was a pawn, in which we used that before in reference to it. She's been used presumably used as a pawn in this within this within during over the course of the war in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia. So now, hell, that isn't as newsworthy as it was before, due to other things taking a front seat to it, and then some things are going to start to die down, and then of course what you start doing, you start clamoring for something that's no news, and you go back and you figure out what can I do to bring this up again or to keep this within it. So when we get ready to get into the NFL, it's some stuff that is going to talk about that is may not it's newsworthy right now, but in a couple of days it may not be, and then we'll be looking at something else. So I think that's what's happening. That basically those things are getting eaten up in the press and aren't becoming as pressing. And not saying that it's not newsworthy, it's just not as pressing as it was once before. Because we still sit up here talking. We want Brittany Griner to be free, want her back in the states, extradite her if that's the case, or let her stand trial, or do whatever,
Mhm.
and get her back here and deal with the situation, as opposed to her being there in the situation because we believe that it's for political reasons, as opposed to just her breaking the law.
I totally agree with you, Freddie. Like that's my whole point too, man. Every country has rules, and
Hmm.
she chose not to abide by the rules in which Russia has set in place. Therefore, that was, like I said, a bonehead mistake. You know what I'm saying? We make mistakes, and sometimes we have to pay for our mistakes, and that's all it is. Right now, she's paying for that bonehead mistake. But like you said, Freddie, rules are rules. She broke one of the rules, and therefore she's detained. That was a good question, Coach Hunter. Uh,
It's funny
Coach
how rules
Uriah,
are rules, but contracts are rules, and they're broken too. But I digress.
contracts
Go
are
ahead.
not rules.
Go
Contracts are
ahead, Bishop.
not rules. Contracts is a contracts
Strike,
are
strike.
agreements.
The jury, the
Contracts
jury,
are
the jury,
agreements.
the jury
Contracts are not rules.
could strike my last comment from the record.
Thank you, because the contracts are not rules; they are agreements. There's a difference.
Au
There's totally a
contraire.
difference. Contraire, more frere. He this dude in this damn contract stuff, bro. Y'all hear this? This dude is so stuck on contracts, bro. Man, this dude in the
I
contract
very much
stuff.
so beg to differ on that, but for the
What
sake of
contracts and
but
contracts are rules? They're not rules.
I'm not going to allow you to sit up and
They're not. Anybody? Do y'all agree? Anybody? Coach Hunter,
I'm not
Coach.
going to
I mean
allow you.
Anthony Price. Anybody? Freddie? Are
Of course,
contracts
Anthony. Come
rules?
on, man. Anthony's your partner. Like you say, he's
No,
going to sit up.
that's
And,
anybody. Contracts
Agent
are not
Price is not going
rules.
to sit up and he's going to probably be. You know what?
Contracts are an
I
agreement.
think I've
It's
said
an
too much
agreement
already.
that y'all have come up with. Rules are set by an individuals. Contracts are a agreement between two. You can always break a trial. Have you seen him?
Oh my god.
No, you did not go to the. No, you did not go to the Compton Straight Out of
Straight out of
Compton
Compton.
movie. No, you did not do that. The Straight Out of Compton movie. You went to the Straight Out of Compton, Anthony. But that's right though. You do have a point though. I will say that you do have a point.
I told you. See, look, I told you.
I'm just saying that is the truth.
I'm gonna be fresh as hell because
Contract is not a
watching.
rule. They're
I'm gonna
not
be
rules.
fresh as
They're
hell. That's
agreement.
a friends watching. Um, yesterday we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but of course,
Okay.
we want our condolences go out for the family of former Viking
Oh.
player, a current Cardinals cornerback, Jeff Gladney, as him and his girlfriend passed away yesterday while in a car accident. Of course, Gladney was the age of 25. Tragic car
Mm.
accident. I don't think all the details have been given to what exactly has happened, but in any case, both those young individuals lost their lives. In that, I'm not sure if it was anyone else that was any other victims in that accident. Of course, as it continues to come out in the coming days, we'll know. Um, but of course, you know, saying our prayers and condolences go out to their families. Um, but opposite of that, there has been a lot of stuff going on when it comes to the NFL players and courts. So yesterday, as Agent Price was getting off the line and reporting to Agent Davis, we
Hey,
heard that Jerry
what you won't do is
what?
refer to myself and Mr. Anthony Price as agents because I am not no
I'm
one's
sorry,
agent. I am not an agent for no one.
Special Agent in Charge Davis and Anthony Price were.
This dude AP, you hear
I'm so
this?
sorry. I'm
AP,
so
you hear
sorry.
this?
As he reported yesterday as he was getting off, Jerry Judy's case was dismissed. Now, of course, we all know Jerry Judy was facing a case in Arizona. I'm correction, not Arizona, in Denver, due to the fact of supposedly he stopped his girlfriend from being able to obtain her items and go on about her day, which is a misdemeanor that has a detention until you're able to be seen by the judge. But as they looked at it, they basically seen there was no evidence in saying that he did any of this. Not to mention that his girlfriend elected not to press charges at the end of the day. So I guess you know what I'm saying the open and shut case for Agent Price and Special Agent in Charge Davis. They didn't have any issues, wasn't able to make a case on this one, so they had to let it go. Um, but they might have another one brewing as former Super Bowl quarterback Mark Rippon is in some hot water when he has basically his ex. Now, get this, Bishop. His ex partner. They never married. They were ex. They were ex partners. Um, relationship, 12-year relationship. They was dealing with each other from 2012 up to 2020, in which his ex partner is suing for uh damages and physical emotional abuse during that time frame. She stated that he has hit her with his car, he has back smacked her, and now,
Mm.
yeah, she said Mark Rippon basically was going off. So now, after 12 years plus, she's deciding to sue. Uh, I guess there's no statute of limitations, or unless he
It
did
sounds
something,
like
or unless he's done something in the last couple of days, and in which she was like, "Now I'm going to go ahead and bring this all back." Um, of course, but in the bigger one, this in y'all current case, um, another victim has came forth in reference to Deshaun Watson. So making
yeah,
it 23.
three.
Um, 23. I know Bishop was already aware of this. I'm just reporting it to y'all. Him and Anthony was already well aware of this. Um,
Let's do it here,
they
bro.
probably had it. They probably had it on standby, just waiting. So it's like, you know what, this is, we're gonna go ahead and drop this. But another client has came out in reference to file the 23rd civil case against Deshaun Watson, as he is this individual alleged that basically the situation got worsened over the time, as it started out with him as the last and final meeting which they had. Deshaun exposed himself, inappropriately touched her in between her legs, and lastly, uh, repeatedly requested to have sex with her. And she said basically the reason for her to decide to come out and have her case, push her case, was due to the fact of when she seen the two of the other complainants in the 22 cases was on the HBO Sports show, and basically conveyed that she seen how they talk about how Cleveland went ahead and paid him the money, and basically like a forget you. We're not worried about you and your and what's going on. We're more concerned about making our organization better, giving Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed, but taking a big offense to that. So Bishop, the more and more of these things come out outside of a special agent, what is it that you think? Like, it's coming to the point really, like it's like Deshaun, bruh, like really, like like we can't even defend you no more, fam. Like, what, what are you doing, my man? Like, wow.
This dude digging himself deeper and deeper, man. I don't know what to say about Deshaun. I guess Anthony knows something more than I know. He talking about he gonna get suspended for the year. He ain't even gonna play a whole nother year season again. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. That situation with Deshaun is literally crazy. I wish they would go ahead and get it. Whatever is going to happen and done, I wish they would go ahead and get it over with, man. Because I'm actually tired of hearing about it. To be honest with you, I'm so over it now. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Do you think there's any more out there?
probably, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not. To be honest, I would not be surprised, bro. Because I do feel like it's a bunch. Like,
Like,
like
bruh,
it's
how do you
never
get
ending, bro.
22,
He
23
just keep them.
cases, man?
That's a lot.
All
Like he's on R.
coincidental
Kelly
cases?
status. Like he about to be on R. Kelly status. Like for real.
Deshaun,
Like
not a
yeah,
bad
it's
looking guy, caked up with with the money.
got that cheese. Yeah, he got that cheese.
I
He definitely
I
got
could
that bag.
assure
Got that bag.
I could assure you, if I was Deshaun Watson, you would not be hearing anything about me in any
No
fact of the
sir.
matter. There's no reason. I have no reason for it to be that.
No sir.
There's no way. But I mean,
Yeah.
but people have their issues and their problems, and people, I guess, is those are rich people problems, Bishop.
Is that what that is?
Those are
Rich people
rich
problem.
people problems because you know what I'm saying. So but even though if I was a rich person, I don't think you would heard that. But I think it comes to the things like when people get or don't have nothing to really do with their money, they tend to find ways to entertain themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think in some cases it becomes a situation where people, not saying this is his or anything like that, just saying speaking. I think it becomes some situations to where they have, um, in which I think they believe they have a superiority complex to
Okay.
where they have the ability to be life changing agents in individuals' lives, but it comes at a price, and that
Mm-hmm.
price is whatever it is. But what you're paying for is whatever they deem as being safe for them to do within their rules. And not saying that that's Deshaun Watson, but that has been when you look at the stuff like the Hart Warren, what's that Bernstein or Weinstein, Harvey, and all this type of stuff. Looked at
Weinstein.
the Weinstein, yeah, it's like, bruh, like some of the stuff and what you seen and that stuff is like, is that what happens when you get rich? Like, is that the type of stuff that goes on?
You
Like maybe I don't
can't say
want
that, because you can't say that because again, when it's all said and done, you say that about Deshaun Watson, but I just spoke about it briefly about LeBron James and Steph Curry. They got money and they don't have those problems. They got this. They got the same amount of money and they don't have those problems. They don't. So it's about the individual. It's the decisions in which the individuals are making that are poor decisions that's finding them in these in these situations. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all adults. We're all human. We make mistakes. Like I said about Brittany Griner, we do things, and sometimes we don't think about what we're about to do before doing it, and before we know it, we found ourselves in a situation. Um, even when us, in regards to when we was in the uniform, we've done things that we really wish we hadn't done, and for some things we probably regret doing that would have prevented us from getting in some trouble here and there. I know I had an incident when I first came in, when I was stationed out at Fort Hood or Fort Bliss. I was a private. I think I was a PFC maybe. I think I was a PFC maybe special. I don't know. I forget. But either way, and it was something as simple as coming back to the rear from out the field, just to go. You know how we do as food service specialists. We come back almost every other day so we can clean up and get take showers and stuff like that, get a fresh uniform and so forth and so on. Well, one time we was coming back, it was me and like I want to say two other people. We driving back um to post to go shower and all of that stuff. Well, the sooner you get back, the more time you got to do things here and there. You know what I'm saying? There's more time you got to do. So I'm driving back. I think we in a Humvee. I want to say I think we was in a Humvee. I don't remember. I think it was a Humvee. But either way, in this Humvee, well, I didn't feel as though we was going too fast. But to make a long story short, a colonel was following us and followed us all the way back to the motor pool. Got to the motor pool. Colonel basically stated that we were driving the vehicle too fast. We shouldn't have been driving into that fast. And so when I got back, he took the keys. When I got back, they took the keys from me, all of that stuff. And so I had to go to my house, shower, change, and get back. Well, to get back, I had to call my first sergeant. He had to come pick me up from the rear and all of this stuff, man. Long story short, I ended up getting the Article 15 for
it.
speed in a military vehicle. Now, again, I think it was warranted? No, I don't think it was warranted because we know the Humvees don't go that fast. It wasn't like I was Mario Andretti out there doing nothing like that. It was just the fact that I may have been going maybe a little bit over the speed limit within, in regards to the vehicle, but nothing that was just extreme to where I really felt like it deserved the Article 15. But it was only a company grade. Wasn't that big. I didn't get busted or anything, lose rank or anything, or no money. I just had to do, 15 and 15 and knock that out. But hindsight is 2020. When I thought about it later, I was like, you know what? That was probably something I probably could have avoided if I'd have just, not did that. Anthony, really? You making the same mistake 23 times? Really? You right about that one. Man, you right. I can't even say nothing about that, bro. You right. Because one after, but then again, you think about it though, Anthony. If you got away with it 10 times, what make you think you won't get away with it 10 more times? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like when you find yourself being able to get away with something that you probably shouldn't get away with, but you do, you feel like you almost invincible. You and being the status of the type of person in which he is, he probably felt like he wasn't gonna get in no trouble. He wasn't gonna get caught in that because of who he was. He's Deshaun Watson, an NFL quarterback, one of the elite quarterbacks at the time. He probably didn't feel he was going to get in trouble or get caught. That's how most people get caught because they never think they getting caught because they got that status when it comes to those type of people. So it is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. But I feel you though, Anthony. I feel you. 23 times. He's too.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you had got caught speeding 23 times in a Humvee? At some point, it's like, oh, you just doing this just because you can. But in any case, additionally, as we move further and further, now we're starting to get bad decision. I agree with Freddie. That tends to be the rhetoric and when people get caught and stuff like that. In so many different aspects outside of sports, outside of breaking the laws and stuff like that. Like you do things, you tend to do things in which you think back in the day when y'all used to have them those illegal cable boxes that that they used to have to come by and zap. Like back in those days, like you continue to have them souped up cable boxes, and even though you would get caught, you will find a way, another way. Or think about the people who the illegal tent on their vehicle until they continue to go and you're saying you go around the town finding out where you can get your tent take off and you can get your inspection sticker so you can keep your illegal tent. Like if you find a way, if there's a will, there's a way, and people will continue to do that in any case. So I know I wasn't with the cable boxes, but I was one of those. I was one of the people who drove around trying to find somewhere where I can keep my illegal tent and find someone that was willing to just paying a little bit extra to get that sticker. Back in the day, so it comes in many ways. If there's a will, someone will find it and it'll go as long as you have enablers.
But the difference with that, Anthony, is that Vic paid for his actions. He went to prison. So I don't know why people were upset that Vic got signed by Philadelphia. That mind boggled me because I didn't understand it. The man paid the price. He did his time. Why are you mad now? You don't want the man to have a life because of his mistake. People can be rehabilitated. People can bounce back from their mistakes. Why are you crucifying this guy because he made a mistake? He paid for it. It ain't like he got away with it. He paid for it. Let it be what it is. You gonna stop him from playing football because he did something that he paid the price for? That's stupid. And no, I'm not
uh,
saying that because I'm a Philly fan.
I
No,
wasn't gonna. I would be
no, I'm
honest.
not saying you. No, no, I'm
But
not
no,
saying you.
but
I'm saying
initially,
anybody.
I thought like, here we go with the Philly stuff. But then I was like, as I
Mhm.
listened, I was like, okay, maybe not. And so I decided not to even bring it up.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
feel like yeah, that wasn't. Come on, man. Man still
so
gotta have a life. So y'all, if you feel if people feel that way, so anybody that's incarcerated, wrongly accused, they can't get a job, or even those that were convicted of their offenses.
yeah,
Once they've done their time, you mean to tell me they shouldn't be able to live a life afterwards? That's crazy,
they
man.
should, but they shouldn't be able to live in anything that had to do with them going to jail.
That
But
that I agree with that, but football, but Vic playing football didn't have anything with him going to jail.
correct. Um, getting into the transaction aspects of it, Bishop. Um,
Mhm.
the former Kansas City running back Darrell Williams has signed with 1 year with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, remember, Darrell Williams was the leading rusher for the Kansas City last year, gaining 558
He
yards.
signed.
Uh,
He signed with who?
Arizona,
Hmm.
don't even guy. He had
Arizona's
558 yards
steady
rushing,
creeping up. They
558
steady
yards
creeping up.
rushing, six
They
touchdowns.
steady
Um,
creeping up.
47 receptions for 452 yards, two
Mhm.
touchdowns, and like I said before, he was the leading back for um, Kansas City. But now, of course, they
Mhm.
have their Atlas Hilaire is back, and I
Yeah,
think they
Edwards
picked up
there.
somebody.
Yeah.
So now Darrell Williams is being teamed with Connor.
Kyler Murray
Yeah,
and Connor and D Hop and all of that jazz. Ooh, Let's
Uh,
go.
Interestingly enough, another one in which you're probably finna do that. Yeah, let's go stuff that you just did. Tampa Bay signs former Chicago defensive tackle Akeem Hicks to a 1 year, $10 million deal. Last year,
Mm.
Hicks recorded 3.5 sacks with 9 hurries. This likely ends in Dominic Sue having an opportunity to come back to Tampa Bay. So it seems a trade Dominic Sue out,
Sue, come on over to
Akeem
Philly.
Akeem Hicks in. Um, that's what it look like it's going to happen. There you go. I just want everybody in Philadelphia. Ain't y'all
Why
good
not?
enough? Why?
Why not? Why not?
Give
They
the
do it
people
in the
that y'all
NBA.
have in
They
your.
do it in the NBA. Why we can't do it in the NFL? We do it. They do it in the NBA.
So you
Why not?
honestly would take a Dominic Sue over there?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Just like I would have took Aaron Donald, I would take Dominic Sue. Yes,
Well,
we'll
anyone
take.
take Aaron Donald? Yeah.
I'll take a Dominic Sue. I mean, bro,
Heck,
we could do
Dominic Sue was Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald became Aaron Donald. For a second, Dominic
facts,
Sue, yeah. So
facts,
for the
facts,
Rams at that. Well, no,
facts.
Detroit then the Rams. So,
Detroit,
but yeah.
yeah, yeah, but facts. We'll take them. Come on over there. Come on over to the winning side, bro. Come on over there, you Dominic and Sue. Come on. We'll take you.
Oh no, I got that. It's coming. It's coming. AP, I got that. Especially with Bishop, I got that. It's going. It's
You
definitely
missed
one of the
what?
things. It talk about the some Madden stuff, but I got it already. It's all wrapped up and ready a bowl for me to present to Bishop. So before we get
Oh
to
no,
that
I ain't
though,
seen that. Yeah,
yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
heard nothing
So
about that.
Pro Football Impacts came up with a list, right? College cornerback impacts ratings from 2021 to 2022 regular season, a minimum of 400 snaps. So in this 400 snap in this ranking, they have accumulated a top 20. In this top 20 is basically the impact in which the cornerback has had on the game or against offenses. Top five: Green Bay Packers Rasul Douglas is number five. Number four, Los Angeles Rams Jalen Ramsey. Number three, now with the Atlanta Falcons, former Las Vegas Raiders Casey Hayward Jr. Now with the New York Jets, finally former Seattle Seahawks DJ Reed Jr. And of course the number one QB impact in the rankings is Atlanta Falcons AJ Terrell with 100% impact. DJ Reed Jr. 90.3%. Casey Hayward Jr. 87.12%. Jalen Ramsey 85.5%, and of course Rasul Douglas with 85.2%. In all this, there's not a single Eagle. Well, first it wasn't a 49, but I see the 49 did make it at 16 with Travarius Ward at 76.6%. Um, but there's only the top 20, like I said, in which the others come out to be Cameron Dancer, J.C. Jackson, Tavarius Thomas, Christian Fulton, and Carlton Davis bring up the top 10. Which I don't know. I don't think this is going to be saying much. Of course, we know going forward because I thought that y'all, for the most part, had more of the more of a tandem when it comes to corners with Slay and now whatever his name is. I can't think of it. Y'all just picked up. But I mean, now Atlanta has one presumably with Terrell and Casey Hayward Jr. So it remains to be seen. We'll see how it all goes.
That personally to me is irrelevant. That list is irrelevant. Who came up with that list?
Pro football focus or pro football.
Nobody did. In layman's terms.
So I ask a
Nobody.
question to you, Bishop. Ask this
Mhm.
question to you: who do you think are the top three teams that did not make the playoffs last year that will make the playoffs this year?
Philadelphia,
Y'all made the
Um.
playoffs.
Oh, you said didn't make the
That didn't,
playoffs at
yeah, that
all.
didn't make the playoffs last year.
Oh,
That or that made it. That will make it this year.
oh, that will. Ooh.
And y'all hear the bias? How quick he was just to rat off Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, because we
Everything
definitely
is
making
Philly.
the playoffs this year. Oh, the NFC
Y'all might.
East. We
Y'all might.
ain't no
Y'all
might.
might.
We running the NFC East. Um, teams that didn't make it that will make it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hmm. Did the Saints make it last year?
No, they did not. They because
They might be one.
San Francisco won, so that
They might make it. Saints is one. I will get a Saints one. Leo, I'm with you on that one. I get a Saints one. The Saints may make it. Um, who else? I'm trying to sit here and think. The Saints, the Colts might make it.
mm-hmm.
The Raiders made the playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders made the playoffs. Yeah, it ain't the Raiders. Uh, Cleveland didn't know.
No, Cleveland did not. No, they didn't.
Cleveland, and I
You
think
think it'd be
Cleveland made
Cleveland?
it.
So
Mm-hmm.
we was here until you strayed off. So I believe it was the Saints. I believe it's the Saints. They make it. Um, Indianapolis, I think, has an opportunity, and then that
Mm-hmm.
last one usually as anything is usually hard because you're stuck with one spot to give
Mm-hmm.
to a bunch of people that's probably deserving. Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Miami. Uh,
No, hell no,
this dude, man.
hell no,
Miami is a it's a
hell no,
yes,
no,
Miami.
no,
Um,
no.
Miami, Baltimore. Uh,
Oh, Baltimore's a good one. They barely
but
missed it out. Yeah,
but
Baltimore.
you
Yeah.
know who I think is the other person? The
Who?
Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
one. I,
that's what I'm
I
talking
can
about.
accept that. I can accept that. I can definitely accept the Ravens and the Chargers. But you lost me with the Dolphins.
The
You lost.
dog.
You lost me
Just
with the
wait and
Dolphins,
see, man. Just wait and see.
bro. You lost me with the Dolphins, bro. This dude is so stuck on that damn tour. That dude is gonna be trash. Watch, straight trash. Watch. Watch what I tell you. What you think Tom is gonna be? That's what Tua gonna be out there in Florida. It's gonna be the total opposite. What you feel Tom is gonna be? That's what's gonna be out there in Miami.
So initially,
Don't
so
agree
this
with
is
that, Freddie. Don't agree with Trey. Don't agree with that.
so
No,
this is what
no, that's good. Hold on, Freddie. Are you agreeing with Trey in regards to the Baltimore and the Chargers, or are you agreeing with Trey in regards to Miami? Because if you agree with Miami, don't do that, Freddie. Don't do that.
so initially, before because it has been revealed, the Madden cover has been revealed. But initially, I had a situation. Like I had five candidates in which I wanted to ask you, Bishop, who do you think would have an opportunity to get on
Oh, okay.
the
I'm good with you on with that, Freddie. I'm good with you on that
uh,
one.
I had five candidates in which I was going to ask you if you would think who would be the Madden candidate. That was Tom Brady, Josh Allen,
Who was
Cooper
just on
Cup,
it?
T.J. Watt, and Trayvon Diggs. But
Not Trayvon Diggs won't. No. Tom Brady was just on the last one, so he's not gonna be on it again.
okay, so if Allen Cup or T.J. Watt would have been the
Allen,
last one.
Josh Allen, you talking
Yeah,
about Josh Allen,
Josh Allen,
Cooper
yeah,
Cup, Josh Allen,
or
Cooper Cup, and who?
T.J. Watt.
No, I don't see TJ getting it either. It'd be out of Allen. I could see either Josh Allen. You know what? To be honest, you forgetting one person,
Who's that?
Aaron Donald.
Hasn't he been on it before?
No,
I thought he's been on it before.
Aaron Donald, I think could be on there defensively.
Mm.
I don't think I can't even remember the last time we had a defensive player.
But
Cup could be on there. I could see Cup. I could see Cup on there. I could definitely
but
see Cup. I could see Josh too.
of
I could
course,
see
what?
Josh too.
So
Or you know who else we forgot?
who? Tyreek?
I could see. No, not Tyreek. Well, Tyreek probably could be on there, but I think the fact that he's moved to Miami is the fact that he might not. Why they didn't consider him? But you know who you also forgot?
Who's that?
Joe Burrow,
Hmm.
because he had a phenomenal season and he's young. Joe
Mm-hmm.
Burrow could have been on there as well as his wide receiver.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, with all those candidates in mind, EA Sports has already made their decision on who the cover is going to be.
Who?
Madden himself.
Oh, I can expect that. That makes sense. He passed
Yes.
away last year,
Yes.
wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that makes
he
sense.
is John Madden is the cover.
Boy, stop it, Freddie. If you don't quit playing,
What do you say?
if you don't stop playing, you know good and well they put him on the toilet bowl, not on no. They put him on the toilet
But
Madden
yes,
bowl, but they ain't put him
Madden
in those.
himself, they're going to
I
utilize
agree with.
John Madden
I
himself
think the
for the
last
2023.
Madden, when initially when Madden came out, that's who was on there. It was
Yeah,
Madden
they start putting
before
athletes.
putting athletes on it. Yeah, it was just Madden himself. So I think it's fitting that Madden is on the back on it. I do. I think that's very fitting.
But okay, so additionally, keeping in the Madden because I know you were enough you were a game head more so than me, but you're a game head. They
Mhm.
released the 20 Madden 23 quarterback ratings, Bishop,
I
and
want to
I
see that. I didn't know they had released that already. The game ain't
yes,
even out yet. How did they already release the
it's
ratings?
leaked. It's leaked. It got leaked.
Oh, they
It was
leaked
a
it.
leak.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, it
was
was a
gonna
leak.
say.
So I ask you this: where do you think 32 teams,
Right.
32 quarterbacks, correction,
Uh
32
huh.
teams, but 32 quarterbacks?
Uh huh.
Where do you think your beloved Jalen Hurts sits in that pecking order?
He's probably in the lower tier. Probably, he's probably anywhere between 20 and 32.
Hmm. You're incorrect, sir.
They put him under 20.
No, they
Y'all
put
said
him up.
he's in between 20 and 32.
Mm-mm. He's above 20.
That's what I said. Did they put
You
him
said
under
between.
20?
You said put him under. Oh, I thought. Well, no, I'm saying he's above. Well, I'm looking at it at the ranking. So he's ranked above 20, well above 20. Surprisingly
That's what I
enough,
said. What? Where they got him ranked at?
number 15, 80 or
Oh,
82
I
rating.
was gonna say 15. I was, but I was like, nah. They ain't finna put. Definitely ain't finna put Jalen at 15. What?
Number 15, or number
Let's
a 15
go.
rating with 82.
Let's go. Who's first? Tom Brady or is it Matthew Stafford?
Neither.
Who's won? Who's got the 99 rating or the
Mahomes.
90 rating? Probably Patrick. They put Patrick at nine. What?
It's
What's
actually
his
set.
rating?
It's actually 790 ratings, but Mahomes is number one with 99.
What? What? I guess so. Oh, I guess so.
Oddly enough, Leo Jameis Winston is number 20 with a 76.
Oh, damn. They got Jameis behind Jalen. What? They got Jameis behind Jalen. Oh, let me ask you this. Where's
Here you go. First and
where
foremost, Garoppolo and Trey Lance are in the top 20, top 32.
oh yeah, well there's 32 teams. Of course they're in the top 32.
Well,
But
two
I'm
of
saying,
them both. Yeah, there's 32 teams, but both of them play for the same team.
but in the only reason they got both of them in it because Garoppolo is hurt. But where's Garoppolo and where's Trey Lance?
Garoppolo is 21, Lance is 28.
Which is expected. So who's 29, 30, 31, and 32? Who's rounding off the four?
29 is Malik Willis with 71. Daniel
Oh, because
Jones
the
is
rookies.
30 with 70.
Oh, they put
Don't do
Daniel
that.
Jones.
Don't do that. Don't do
They
that. Don't
put
try to
Daniel
still talk
Jones
about
at
because of
30.
rookies. We're not gonna just pass by the fact that you try to demean my man by talking about they're only behind them because they're rookies. Stop it, bro.
That is it. You
That's
can't.
exactly what you just tried to do.
They have to. They have to put the rookies at the end,
Carson
bro.
Wentz is 31 with
We
71,
expected.
and then
Expected.
Sam Darnold is 32 with 70.
Wow. Sam Donald is 32. Where's Carr? Somebody said, Freddie said, where's Carr?
85 ranking, so he's number 13.
Ooh, that's respectful for him. That I can see that. I can see that. Where's that? Because you know the
Uh,
Cowboy fans want to know.
Number eight
He in
with
the
the
top 10?
89. Number eight
Yeah, I
with the
figured he was in the
89.
top 10. Yeah, I figured he was in the top 10. I figured he was
89.
in the top 10.
Your
Where's
90s,
Tom?
3, 98.
Okay, okay, okay. That's yeah, yeah. The goat. Got to put him in
Aaron,
the top three.
Aaron, Aaron and
Aaron Rodgers is second.
Aaron, yeah, with 98. Aaron
Mm.
and Tom have 98. Josh Allen 95. Lamar Jackson a 92. Uh,
Oh, that's kind of low.
Herbert is a 90, and then Russell Wilson is a 90, and that's all for the
So
Niners.
they put Russell Wilson in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
What did they put Jody in? Burrow.
Uh, he's number 9 with 89.
Oh, okay, at least he in the top 10. That make as long as they put him in the top 10, that makes sense.
Special Agent Price,
Wentz is an Anthony. He's
he's a
31.
31.
31 guy. Yes, sir. For yeah, 31 guy. Just so you know where he belongs.
Interestingly enough, Mayfield is a 78 with so he's at number 19.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Hmm. What? So where's Deshaun?
Deshaun is 86. Number 12. Kyler Murray is number 11.
Okay. 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 Hmm. Okay. That makes sense. I don't see too much wrong with that at all. I don't see too much wrong with that at all. Yes, yes, he's at 31. Yes, Anthony. Yes, yes. Carson Wentz is at 31, sir. Yes, that's exactly where he's at. Yes, sir. 31 out of 32 teams. And there's two teams that got two quarterbacks on the list, and they both before him. Trey Lance is one of them. Yes. Just so you know.
Zachary Wilson 72, Jared Goff 72, Justin Fields 73, Tua is a 73, Pickett
Now
is a
Justin Fields is
74,
gonna go up.
Pickett is a
Pickett, we gonna see
74,
what he gonna do. He's a rookie.
which is interesting because they don't even have Trubisky on this list. And he's just
Really?
mm-hmm. Cousins
Oh,
is
his
a
rating?
80.
You mean the rating? His rating was what was his rating for
Which one?
Wentz?
Wentz is a
Wentz.
70.
Horrible. 70. Terrible.
Oh,
They
that's
don't have
trash.
a Trubisky on there?
No, they do
Wow.
not, but they have Pickett on there.
That's crazy. Oh wow.
Tannehill is 14 with the 84.
Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Ryan? Where's Matt? Matt. Oh, Matt Ryan.
He's not on there. Oh no, yes he is. Number 16 with 81.
Okay. Okay. What about Tua? He already said what Tua was.
Tua is a 24 with 73.
They put Lamar. They put Lamar, who was injured, over Russell Wilson. Did they?
Yeah,
Because you said Russell was. Did they put Lamar over Russell Wilson?
Lamar is number 5.
Yeah,
And Russell's number 7.
that's fair. That's totally fair. In the game, he may be more injury prone, but in regards to his rating, that's right. Lamar should be over Russell. I totally agree with that. Without question, I agree with that 100%.
So
I
yes,
agree with I agree with the whole list. I am surprised Mitchell Trubisky is not on there though.
mm-hmm.
That is a bit
You would think that he was
surprising.
supposed to be the starter. So
Well, yeah, they still trying to figure it out, but yeah. Yeah. I
uh,
mean the top 3 was right. I totally feel that.
so I asked you this, Bishop. I asked this the other day on Monday. I'll ask you this same question. I'm going to give you 5 names, 5 wide receivers. Cut 2. Simple as that. Cut 2.
You're playing the game with Madden. Facts.
Your 5 receivers and names, which I'm going to give you, which 2 I need you to just cut 2. 5 wide receivers. Of course, the GOAT, Jerry Rice. Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens, Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson. Cut two.
I'm cutting two.
Cut two.
Golly, that's not fair.
Cut two.
I'm cutting Terrell.
Ooh, off the rip. You ain't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm cutting. Come on, he's not outdoing. He's not outdoing anybody on that list.
He's the second all-time passer in NFL history. He's the second top receiver in NFL history.
So Terrell Owens is getting cut, and who else? I don't need the drama. Terrell Owens and who else? Let me see. You said Megatron, Jerry Rice. Oh, and Larry and Fitzgerald. I'm cutting them too.
You cutting Larry Fitzgerald?
Mm-hmm. Compared to the other ones, we talking about the greatest of all time wide receiver. We talking Megatron, who his if he hadn't cut his career short, probably would have surpassed Jerry Rice. Then we're talking about who was the other
Randy
Megatron,
Moss.
Jerry Rice, and Randy Moss. Come on, bro. Yeah, yeah, I'm cutting him too, for sure, without question. Yes, without question.
I cut Randy and I cut Megatron.
What? You out your everlasting mind.
I cut
There's
Randy and
no
I
one.
cut.
There's no one out of those. There's no for one. Larry Fitzgerald is not that guy to have uh that you could just throw the ball to him and he gonna just come up with the ball.
Because Larry worked the intermediate.
I am gonna
So
think. I thought about it. I've thought about it. Cut Larry and Moss. Y'all are crazy. To cut Larry and Moss, y'all are crazy. How do y'all cut Moss? Really?
actually, I think I did cut. I know I cut without a fact. I know I cut Megatron, but I think I did cut To and I did take Larry. I did take Randy.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm cutting
It was hard, but
T.O.
I cut To.
and Larry. Yeah, I'm cutting T.O. And the only
Right.
reason I'm cutting T.O. not because of
His
his
performance.
playmaking ability, but his performance, and then it's because of the drama. I don't need that drama, especially when I got all these other three guys. I don't need his drama when I don't have to worry about drama with Larry or with Jerry Rice, nor Moss, nor Megatron.
Hmm.
That's just me.
Got it. I got it.
I hear you, Anthony. It briefs well. Definitely briefs well.
So of course, as we go, it was another topic. But I say that for tomorrow because it's probably going to extend a little more than it need be. So of course, high speeds. We have come to that time again. We greatly appreciate y'all rocking coming out to formation. As Bishop has
We
always
do.
said, it is Hump Day, so it's just a couple of more days left in this week. But we're only one day, less than 24 hours. I mean, or just a little over 24 hours before
Yeah.
the game one of the NBA championship, pitting the Golden State Warriors, Western Conference Final champions, versus the Boston Celtics, Eastern Conference champions, in which you get a chance to see they get their chance to crown the next MVP to be the reigning champions for the next year. Golden State has been there before recently, as Boston has been there before historically, but not since what over a decade, I think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so uh, definitely two histories going at one another. Uh, Old school versus new school reputations. Who will come out on top? It all starts tomorrow.
That it does. That it does.
Bishop, any words before we get up out of here, brother?
Oh man, y'all just have a great hump day. Enjoy your hump day. Be safe. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Anthony Prices, the Freddies, all y'all that came in and did your thing, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. Without y'all, there is no first formation. So again, enjoy it. Be sure to tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours. For you civilian personnel, that's 9 o'clock to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate y'all and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
We look forward to see y'all tomorrow. High speed show 10 Fallout. We
Row 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated in the building. We'll holler back at y'all. Peace.